Hey everybody, my name is Jonathan Pritchard, and for the past 10 years or so, I've been performing as mentalist Johnny Savant. And tonight we're going to talk about why mentalism and magic actually works. Not how it works, but why it works. The parts of your brain that we kind of hijack and take over to create these amazing effects that there's absolutely no explanation for. We're going to explore the psychological principles at play that make my job so much fun. Okay, raise your hand if you think you know what the front of a penny looks like. Yeah? Okay, we're actually going to test that right now. And here's a slide with 15 different pennies on them. And I want you guys to tell me which one is the real penny. Okay, by a show of hands, how many of you think it's the first one? No? Okay, the second one? And we'll keep going on. Here's an interesting detail. Not one person has ever actually taken out a penny and looked at it to see which one is the real penny, which I think is kind of hilarious. See, we have these pictures and objects in our minds that represent reality, and we trust those symbols more than we trust actual reality. Now, as you can see, our eyes kind of fill in and interpret reality. We've got that blind spot, and our brain just kind of fills in with what it thinks should be there. And that shows you that your brain is actively interpreting reality for you. So what you think is an empirical reality is what your brain is telling you is an empirical reality. So, as a magician creates the reality that your brain is telling you is real, you're actually experiencing a reality where magic is possible. So, to see around and be able to figure out how it works almost requires you to imagine a completely different universe than the one you've just experienced. And that's very difficult to re-engineer and figure out how that's going to happen. See, we have a story going in our mind almost all the time. We're explaining reality to ourselves, basically. And if somebody cuts in front of you in traffic, you explain it to yourself by going, oh, he's a jerk, or maybe he's really got to go to the bathroom. Right? There's always that story running in your head of what you're experiencing. So a magician uses that story and creates a context for you to come to certain conclusions about what's happening. And you will trust that story you're telling yourself a lot more than you would trust a magician. That's why you will never hear a professional mystery entertainer say, "a perfectly ordinary deck of cards." That he's telling you the story he wants you to believe. And then you hear that and go, well, I wonder if it is normal. I would like to see those cards. And there is a situation where you can challenge that narrative. However, if you use the person's narrative bias, here's what it looks like. You just handle the deck of cards like it's a normal deck of cards. And that person's story in their head goes, oh, well, he's handling it like it's a normal deck of cards. It must be a normal deck of cards. If they were all the same card, he wouldn't give it to the person to hold and hang on to. So that's an example of where a mystery performer will use your narrative bias to create fantastic effects.